one of the most wonderful illustrations in the Old Testament of some of the closing scenes of Christ's life is found in the story of the rejected King David. You remember Absalom, his son, rebelled against him. And so David decides to flee from Jerusalem. And with a small band of very intimate friends, he leaves the city, goes down a rocky path, and crosses the brook Hedron to the region of Gethsemane, and then up the mountainside of the Mount of Olives. We're told in the story that the brook he crossed was the brook of Kedron. And 1,000 years later, another king, King Jesus, would be rejected by his people. And we read that he went out of the city and went down the same rocky path and crossed over the same brook, Kedron. Let me tell you something about Kedron. The name means black. It was a filthy watercourse. All the garbage of Jerusalem was thrown into that watercourse, and all the refuse from the temple was thrown into the Kedron. And when Christ crossed that filthy brook, he saw there an image of the sin he was to bear. David, the rejected king, leaves Jerusalem, goes down the rocky decline, crosses the Kedron into the region of Gethsemane. With him is a small band of friends, and with Christ are 11 disciples. David has some other friends who sympathize with him, though they don't all go with him. And when Christ was on his way to the cross, we read of the women that wept because of the evil that they saw happening to their Lord. David was accompanied by men who refused to go the way of Ahithophel, the prime minister, David's former friend, who now becomes a Judas, a traitor, and joins with Absalom against the king who'd been Ahithophel's friend. In Psalms it predicted, "Mine own familiar friend turned his heel against me." So as this Prime Minister of Israel, former friend of David, joined in the rebellion, so Judas, whom Christ had honoured with his fellowship for 3.5 years, becomes a traitor. So you have in the story of David a prefiguration of the experience of King Jesus, rejected by the world, crossing over that filthy brook into Gethsemane. We read in the record of Samuel that David confessed his sin as he walked and surrendered his will to the will of God. And Christ in Gethsemane would later say, "Not my will, but thine be done." So David, with a surrendered will, goes up the top of Olivet, and there, with bowed head, he prays to God the prayer we find in Psalm 3. Now, my friends, isn't it a very marvellous thing that a book written 1,000 years before Christ should so illustrate what would happen to the Saviour, that he would be rejected, that he'd go out of Jerusalem, that he'd cross Kedron, that he'd go into Gethsemane, that he'd surrender to the will of God? Isn't it amazing that the Old Testament can do that? The reason it can, dear friends, is because the Old Testament is inspired of God, and it has hundreds of pictures of the events that would take place as recorded by Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. I recommend to you that holy book. It tells the truth about us. It tells the truth about God. It tells the truth about life. And it tells us how we can have life eternal. God bless you.